A night pool party, huh? I wish we could have that sort of event here in Hawaii. Unkind days have become a rare occurrence here. But yeah, after the events of the last episode, the Precure were in the mood for some good R&R, so they decided to participate in a night pool party organized by their town council. After the opening, where they actually took my advice and threw in at least one more cut featuring the Six Rangers, the Precure went to the pool to find something that wasn't exactly all that aesthetically pleasing for Hana, as it just looked like a lazy hodgepodge of a bunch of festival material. This led into my new favorite Hana line ever. I think her actress just blew a vocal cord. Also, apparently her lower jaw is made of steel as she managed to create a small ditch walking up to the chief of the console. He admitted that he was a little off touch, which, based on that pecoline hairdo, goes without saying. Thus, he hoped the staff of the Beauty Harry could touch it up a little. And after giving her father some good business, Hana managed to put together something a lot more presentable for the pool party. Also, Hagatan, be careful with that cabbage. When the time came, they managed to open the night pool to an awaiting crowd, and what the? Do you girls just enjoy ripping off your clothes in front of a large group of people? I'm not judging or anything, just gotta ask. Anyway, in spite of the fact that a pool party this crowded IRL would actually be rather uncomfortable, it proves to be a success. Harry even managed to set up a lucrative popcorn stand, mostly thanks to his good looks, attracting all the female clientele, and visibly flustering Komare. Yeah, no surprise that next week's episode is going to have more shipping between these two. Still, to prevent too much shipping between the girl and the mouse, Charlie appeared out of nowhere to brag about his YouTube channel, and how his latest video managed to score, modest 283 views within a day. Dude, if you really want to get those views, you should try doing weekly Precure reviews. That actually should be pretty easy for you since you actually know them. But yeah, Charlie and later Purple apparently maintained all of their memories of their time at Karasu, as they managed to declare that they were fully reformed. Which, honestly, I do like. All too often, when a villain reforms and they're not a Precure, they just forget about their past transgressions, kind of negating any previous character development. Moreover, it kind of closes the door on any possible future interactions with the protagonist. As we'll see later, they completely avoid the latter, though I kind of wish they acted a little bit more sorry for their crimes, but maybe they're saving that for later. Anyway, seeing old enemies being nice to her friends puts a smile on Hana's face, though it also triggers some PTSD as the last guy she thought was a nice guy almost ended the world. Yeah, while Hana's sudden revival last week felt unwarranted, this actually feels like a good follow-up. Hana trusted George and even tried to protect him, so to have that trust broken pretty much shook up her moral beliefs greatly for possibly the third time in her life. Perhaps her trying to make everyone at this pool party smile was her attempt at coping with and masking her own distress. And the scene in which we get to see this distress is really well done, with Hana literally trying to wash it all away, when in truth, no amount of water can wash away certain wounds. Meanwhile, Jelly spotted a couple of brats who were called out for running around the pool and absorbed their resulting Toge power. We also finally get to see her butlers outside of her summoning animation, who apparently are her kohai, and have voices that really don't match those designs. Sebastian, these guys are not. Anyway, she doesn't immediately use the Toge power. This gives Emi and Ruru time to pull a sudden concert out of nowhere. Gotta help sell that new single somehow, right? And then Jealous attacks, I'm assuming because now all the civilians were gathered in one spot to see the concert. Oops. Also, apparently Mo Shimada have become the new standard monster type for Kryasu. Kind of thought you needed Dr. Tron's machines, but guess not. Anyway, said monster has an AoE that covers the entire poolside. Things are looking like they're building up to an epic fight with the Precure need to fight a monster on a battlefield where they were at a complete disadvantage, until Emu and Ruru just pull a Macross and clean up the Toge power instantly. Yeah, I think even Basara would call hacks on this. Anyway, the Precure transform on the stage even though there were still people around. But I guess nobody knows his superhero transformations anymore. This leads into a quick fight where they had to promote the love guitars for at least one more week. Thus, the episode ends with Purple and Charlie revealing that they were now running a talent agency and were hoping to make the Six Rangers their first clients. They also took the time to introduce another member of their staff, and what the?
Really?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that Best Monkey Dancer's alive and well, but really? The dude who had no character arc, just gonna bring him back? No strings attached?
Really?
Anyway, there's admittedly a cute scene where Saya gets a proper thank you from Daigon for trying to save him, and they take a botched up selfie together. Let's see, an episode with excellent comedy, some powerful moments, and yet it still tries to cram in way too much within just 23 minutes. This isn't a Sal Murayama episode, isn't it? Yes, I'm getting good at this. Yeah, I've complained about this guy's writing in the past, but in all truth, I think he can be a good writer. He just needs to keep a bar of violin next to his keyboard. Murayama just has a bad tendency to try and cram everything into his script, which is no better highlighted than the second half of this episode, and yet he only really needed a few sentences to describe a few key points. I mean, I applaud his enthusiasm, but the dude really needs to become more aware of that 23-minute time limit. All that said though, the first half of this episode was actually quite good. From his spot-on comedy that has given me my new favorite Hana meme face, I'm Batman, to a good follow-up for what was otherwise a rushed plot development from the last episode. Again, while I didn't hate that comeback scene, it did feel like they should have saved it for later and given it more build-up. But since it's already out there, they at least didn't disregard it, and in fact built off of it. Hana having PTSD could lead to some good drama on down the line, like her having trust issues for instance. Sure, it looked like she got over it after Emir and Ru's concert, but who's to say she can't relapse later? Speaking of which, having the four villains acting as the Six Rangers managers could lead to some interesting interactions on down the line. Hopefully they involve learning more about Kuryasu, like, why the hell do their butler characters have to sound so weird? Anyway, the episode's destroying pits aside, it was a pretty good follow-up after a shakeup of the status quo. My summer with an AC saga continues, as now I've spent literal days trying to get this stupid thing to work with no success. On the bright side, I did manage to finish my Smile Pretty Cure review script, and now I just need an apartment with AC to get some recording done. Those clouds out there only raise the humidity. Still, look forward to the Smile Pretty Cure review whenever it comes out. And until then though, fellow Phenomenon fans, and I think I gotta go jump in a night pool or two.